So, this was another good movie where it could have been improved in quite a few areas. Ironically, I did like No Way Home more despite the fact that that movie had way more problems than the Suicide Squad did. So, this How to Fix video won't be as long. Just a couple improvements here and there that could have made this a better film. Similar with the No Way Home one, there's going to be one big change at the end with some small changes leading up to it. With that, let's go. First off, and ironically like No Way Home, get rid of some of the cringier comedy. Since it's been much longer since I've seen the Suicide Squad over No Way Home, I don't really remember anything specific, but I do vaguely remember some more eye-rolling jokes showcased throughout. So get rid of a couple of those and you should be fine. This is another small one, but I did want more of an arc for Polka Dot Man. While I think his character was really good, I feel as though he was still too pathetic at the end of the movie. So I do want a couple more scenes of him gaining more and more confidence throughout the film. Maybe someone tries to force him to do something and he tells them to fuck off or something along those lines. Just adding a bit more to his character so it is a bit more saddening when he actually does bite the dust. Not saying it wasn't, but there could have been more. Then there is the character of Peacemaker. Now, I'm not going to act like I'm some gigantic Peacemaker fan that's offended of this portrayal or anything like that. I've read a couple Peacemaker comics, like the Garth Ennis one-shot that came out a couple months ago, Law, the back issues of the Inferior 5 miniseries, which, to be fair, sucked, and maybe a couple others. Nothing too major. But with the little I know of Peacemaker, making him more like his comic counterpart could have made for a much more interesting and even funnier character. Have him be the straight man who is unaware of his stupidity, nonsensicalness, and hypocrisy of his character. That would have been way funnier. Then his competition with Idris Elba would have also possibly been funnier, because both are genuinely serious about what they're trying to do. Just the idea of the two straight men from a comedy movie acting like children, and Peacemaker having a hypocritical mission, makes for a lot of comedy potential. Which is, funnily enough, what John Cena wanted to do with the character, but James Gunn wanted to make him more like douchey Captain America for reasons I will never understand. Now for the big change. In my version, Idris Elba's character won't be Bloodsport, but instead be Bronze Tiger. Now, this is fairly obvious for anyone who watched my DCU Redux knows why I did this. It was rumored that Idris Elba was either going to be Vigilante or Bronze Tiger, but he ended up just being Diet Deadshot, which is really fucking aggravating and wasting a really good talent like Idris Elba. Especially since the daughter subplot is so glaringly obvious a leftover from when Elba was recast as Deadshot. The daughter subplot here is so fucking pointless, so that would be cut out with the character change. Then what else changes? Well, the competition between Peacemaker and Bronze Tiger would be melee versus long-range weaponry, rather than just long-range versus long-range, which, don't get me wrong, is still really funny, but it has to be tweaked since I'm changing the character. Then, in terms of him and his relationship with Ratcatcher 2, we could give him a backstory similar to Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, but instead of the League of Assassins killing just his wife, they kill his wife and daughter, and that was the crime that he didn't do but was accused of, and that would have landed him in prison despite being innocent. With that, the last major change would have been what Amanda Waller would have threatened him with to get onto the Suicide Squad. Instead of threatening his daughter, she would have threatened him with an even longer sentence. Because I'm going to make it that at the start of the movie, he only has maybe a couple months left of his sentence due to good behavior, and that most of the evidence was circumstantial, but he got thrown into prison anyway. Waller would threaten him with a longer sentence by fabricating real evidence that he actually did the crime when he really didn't. Hell, even if I don't change him to Bronze Tiger, I think that one change with Waller would have been better rather than the discount daughter subplot from the first one, but I digress. The last thing I wanted to change is more of a what if, and a very, very personal change that no way would have happened. The other changes could have been fairly easy to add or change with some script tweaks and that sort of thing. But this one is just for me. Pretty much switch Harley Quinn and Captain Boomerang. because I absolutely fucking despise Harley Quinn nowadays with every fiber of my being. But since a clown terrorist dressed like a whore is somehow the mascot of DC, that can't happen. Yeah, don't have the moral, lawful good who stands for truth and justice and is the most hopeful hero to ever fucking exist, who is the epitome of what everyone should be the mascot of DC. No. Let's have Harley fucking Quinn be the mascot of DC because insert feminist power fantasy bullshit here. So yeah, that's kind of it. Not nearly as much as No Way Home, but I think it could have been a vast improvement to the movie we got, which, to be fair, was already good. But that's all for now. See you later.